Classes and objects in object-oriented programming. Concept. What is a class and what is an object? As a beginner, I used to find this topic confusing. So I guess I will be able to help you out in this video after working on it. So, what is a class? A class is a theoretical explanation of something which says what it is containing, what it has, what it can do, what it is capable of, etc. And an object is the practical implementation of it. That means the object brings the class from the concept to the actual existence. That means the object is what physically or conceptually is present in order to make the class become active. Say, for example, I can start with calling this up what you see on the screen. I think on the right side what these are called pen, but on the left side what is it? It is the description of a pen. That means what a pen is, what it can, how to work on it, what are the things that it can hold in it, kind of. Now on a pen you don't find that it is written that it is a pen. You don't write that, you don't get the writing on a pen that it is a pen, right? It is a writing instrument that we know, we are told, we have read it somewhere. So we can say, where is it written? We can say the class is described in the dictionary, or maybe you can say these days in the internet. Let me show you the next. What you are going to see is a box. Now, a box, when I ask somebody that what do you understand by a box, then what the person will say is the class. That means a detail of a box is that it describes a variety of containers and it of various shapes. It can be made up of metal or wood or paperboard, etc. But what you see on the right side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 objects of class box. So on the right side, what you see are the physical items, right? So they are the objects. And if you look around your house, if you look around your surroundings, you might find something which are actually physically existing. So those physical items will be the objects, and the description part of them will be the class. What you see here is what a plant. Now when I say a plant, then children learn about plant in books. It is written there as plant is a multicellular organism, predominantly photosynthetic, eukaryotes of kingdom Plantae, and etc. etc. Now that comes under what a class-wise description of a plant is. But you see on the right side of the screen, you will find the objects of class plant. Now this one that you will see is another example. Here, this one I like. It is a dinosaur. Now you see, a dinosaur is described as they are creatures that existed so many millions ago, there, etc., etc. A lot of things are there. But can I say that I have an object of class dinosaur present anywhere in the world today? I cannot say now. That means a class dinosaur has no object with me or with us or in this world. So it is a class which is existing, but the objects are not there. If I give you this example, you see, this is an example of shop. What is a shop? A shop is a building or a part of a building where goods or services are sold. That means when you go to a shop, you get service or you get some material which you buy, etc. Now, can you say that every building will be a shop? No. That means wherever there is things kept, that might not be a shop. because when it is a shop, there has to be those concepts implemented which will make a shop a shop. So a shop is actually a conceptual object. That means the shop exists, but the building is not the shop. The shop is the concept. If I give you this example, which is a school. School is also a building, but it is not just a building. It is a building where I can say learning environment is made, where teachers, students under some directions, etc. Like I say, a school is not just a building. A school has got some activities, some rules to follow, some structure to follow. That makes a building a school. So all these buildings are school because they are going to follow the norms of a school. So these all are also not just an object. They are conceptual object, because the moment if it is no more a school, if students are no more going there, then it will not end up remaining a school. It will turn it back into a building. So this building and the school, here the building is physically there, but the school is a conceptual thing. Then comes, oh, this is a kind of different, date. If I ask you, somebody, what do you understand by a date? Then there will be some description somewhere. That description might be like, it is a combination of 3 numbers or 2 numbers and 1 word, because the month can be expressed in number also. The month can be expressed in words also. So I can say that a date has got this kind of number-wise configuration, where if I look into months as number, then it cannot be less than 1, it cannot be more than 12. The date cannot be less than 1, and it cannot be more than 31, and also it can be 28 for some months, 29, 30, 31. There are 4 possible ends. This year thing, it can go on and on and on and on. But when you will look at the date as a date that you want to talk about, then that is going to be one of the dates. So the date theory is not when you are talking about the date actually. For example, the birth date, Independence Day, important dates, the date when you will get your pocket money or your salary, or the date when you will go out on a vacation, happy holiday kind of. Or there can be other dates also, exam dates are there. So then those are the conceptual objects of class date, because when the class date focuses on the theoretical side of what is understood by date, what a date can be, what a date cannot be, etc. Similar is this next example, which is time. When someone will ask about time, it will be an answer like it's a combination of 3 numbers. It can be 2 more, like after hour, minute, second. You can even take milliseconds, then microseconds, etc. Then the time, a combination of whatever number of numbers, you can say 3 numbers or 5 numbers, whichever. Then these numbers are such that when the value of SS, like the seconds, will become more than equal to 60, then there is an adjustment that minutes will go up by 1 and it will get readjusted by subtracting 60 from it. Like that. So that is the theoretical part of it. The time, talking about time, explaining what time is. But when it comes to like this exam hall, in the exam hall, children people are giving exam. When they are giving exam, if they have got a difference in time of completion, if someone finishes early, someone is taking a little extra time, then they all are booking, they all are creating their own personalized copy of time. This is my time taken. So the moment it comes out and says that my time is different from your time, the amount of time I took is different from the amount of time you took, that means that amount is making a personal copy of the time. It is not remaining detached, it is getting attached. If you look at the runners down there, the runners are running, different runners are going to consume different amount of time. So the person who came first must have taken one slab of time, that this is the time amount that I took, that is the time amount the second the one who came second took, this is the time amount the last one took. So the moment there are copies against each person of the time slot, that moment object of time is getting created. But is that a physical object? No, no, that's a conceptual object. If I say that, okay, I'm going to spend 8 hours, 26 minutes for sleeping. So if I say that I'm going to sleep for such amount of time, or I slept for that amount of time, that means I am taking one object of time in which I am mentioning the amount of time I have spent on it. Similarly, is for studying time, TV watching time, movie watching time, etc. etc. Those all are objects of time, because time thing is the concept. When I'm booking a slot, or if I'm taking a personal copy of it, it is becoming my taken time or someone's taken time, and hence is becoming an object. Then I will talk about a factory. What is a factory? A factory is a place where there is one specification, and from that specification, multiple similar objects are created. Now, if I take this real life example of a leaf, you see, what leaf do you think it is? Yes, guess. It's a neem leaf. Yeah. So these leaves, all these leaves are made in the same tree, or the neem tree only, huh? So when it's a neem tree, then the neem tree is becoming a factory of neem leaves. So all these leaves are objects of the same class. Now that is not very much applicable, but a better example is here when you have a factory and where all similar kind of things are coming out. If you look at the shoe factory, the shoe factory is creating all the shoes as per the specification, which is the class. So what you are seeing here in the picture are the objects. Same is with the car. When you will see that these cars are being made, do you think these cars are going to differ from one another? No, no. But they all are going on and on. The production is going on and on as per the specification mentioned. So the specification mentioned is the class, and these are objects. So these are objects of the class car. Now you see the bottles. If you look at the bottles, you see all the bottles are being produced. The creation here, the making is done as per the specification. That makes all these objects of class bottle here, whatever is the bottle. So hence I can say the class is an object factory, because the class is the specification and the objects follow the specification and make that specification come true. So when I will now come to a class of a program, which was my target, here I can tell you now that in Java, I have got one program written. In an object-oriented programming, any object-oriented programming, we have got a program written. That program stands separate. It is not that the program is not accessible. You are creating the program then becomes a class, and that class is encapsulated and can be executed only when it is taken out in objects. So the objects contain the class and they are created in multiple copies. So from a class, a large number of copies of objects can be made, which objects bring the class to reality. Like here, so many copies you are seeing, this object 1, object 2, object 3, object 4, object. These all are made from the same class. So they all have got identical codes inside them. And each of them are independent of the other. So you are not running one copy of the program. You are free to run whichever object. Now 5 people can run the same thing at the same time. So the same copy of the program, when is made a class, is now becoming in two pieces. One is the one which is the theoretical explanation, which says what the master thing is, and these all are objects which are going to get executed independent of each other. So we can finally say the advantages making multiple objects from one class is all of them are now going to do the same work. They are serving the same purpose, but for someone I can do something, for that someone else I can do something else. So if I have got a very big program, this object 1 can execute its first half with some condition. In the same time, independent of the object 1, object 2 can run on its own with something else in it. Independent of these two, third one can run on its own with some other data, some other conditions, some other validity values and all. So they all are parallelly now possibly getting replicated, and there are more concepts coming on the way on object handling. But the first is, how do you separate a class from an object? Okay, so I will thank all the image makers, because I have taken these images from Google's free image, and I express my gratitude to all the image makers which the images have brought life to my PowerPoint. Thank you.